La 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 la. Hey, this is a song for my haters. Yeah, you got me feeling like the greatest.
Throw, dropping the pass, in trouble. He gets the pass away over the middle, and it's picked off at the 20-yard line. Dansby makes the interception.
Welcome back to the episode of PCP Press Coverage Podcast. I'm your host, E. Dansby, and today I have another CSRA gridiron legend with me, a former Strom Thurmond rebel,
no doubt,
and an App State legend, Mr. Coco Hillary himself.
What's up, brother? Man, appreciate it, boy. Thanks for having me, big dog. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, man. It's a pleasure, bro.
Hey, before we dive into your story, man, we dissect everything about what we want to talk about, man.
No doubt.
App State on yesterday, they traveled to College Station for the first time. They're ranked number 6 in the nation.
Crazy.
And App State going there and knock them off, man. They control the whole ball game from the first quarter to the fourth quarter, man. And they able to get it done, man. David knocks off Goliath once again. So, man, what's your thoughts on the game from yesterday?
Man, I thought the game yesterday, man, first of all, was a heck of a coaching strategy, man.
Definitely.
You know, you don't see guys that hold the ball time of possession-wise for that long. It almost put, well, not almost, but it put Texas A&M at a disadvantage.
It definitely did.
And people always say that time of possession really don't matter in football. Well, it was evident yesterday that it really does.
Right, exactly.
Because if I can keep your offense off the field and tire your defense down with our strategy as far as running the ball and making sure those big guys up front can't get as much pass rush or they're tiring them out.
Exactly.
It worked out for the best of their, to the best of their ability, man. And for them, it really showed what we bring to the table as far as the program, why people go up to App State to play, man. Because that culture, once again, that culture is impeccable. All right, you're not going to find that culture nowhere else in the country. And I'm not comparing, nobody to Alabama, Georgia, and stuff like that, but we have our special niche.
Right. Exactly.
As far as the culture is concerned and what we expect from our players and our teams each and every year.
Man.
No doubt.
And like you said, that was evident in the game yesterday, man, because like you said, just to control that game. And you look at Texas A&M and everything they've been able to do from being the number 6 ranked team in the nation, but being young and then winning, having the number 1 recruiting class of 2021.
How crazy is that?
And you're going and you knock them guys off. Now, App State got a lot of fifth year guys, even some 6-year guys, so they're very, very experienced.
Yeah.
And Texas A&M came in with not so much experience. And like I said, with the coaching, with the help of the coach and help of the great quarterback play, been able to run the ball and keep the ball away, man. App State, once again, David goes in and slays Goliath. And that's this thing where App State is not as much as an upset anymore because I've seen them take out go to overtime and almost take out Tennessee. We seen them knock off Michigan when you was there, and now we seen them beat USC. The Gamecocks.
We almost beat North Carolina last week.
Almost beat
North Carolina. We should have. With 2-point conversion, man.
There you go. So now it's not even really an upset anymore. This is it's a new standard at App State football, man. So we know you have a great college career, man, at App State, and everything you've done has been such a. Everybody has marveled in the area, man. But we know it just doesn't start at App State. We know it comes at a young age. So not just only the game of football, where did you find your love for the sport, man? For sports, period.
Man, it's crazy, man, because my dad is not really a sportsman, always a hard-working man.
Right.
But he wasn't a guy or that was an ex, college ball player or, or played on any kind of level, man. My dad stopped playing, actually playing sports or actually when he was 15, 16 years old because he had to go work and help the family out. You know what I'm saying? So he was born and bred in the roots of knowing how to work hard, which allowed me and my brothers to follow suit and know what it takes to actually be successful just through hard work.
Gotcha.
But we had no prowess as far as sports was concerned, but he did do a great job of making sure he put us around the people that was necessary for us to gain that kind of tutelage, that kind of knowledge.
Right.
We spent a lot of time down at the North Augusta Parks and Recreation when I was a kid, man, all the way from like 6 years old, probably about 13 or 14, just playing recreation ball down there.
Gotcha.
And we lived in Edgefield County, but we stayed right down Highway 25, so we still close to North Augusta.
You still North Augusta. So it's just a straight down the street drive.
Yeah, so we were able to cultivate our abilities through the North Augusta Parks and Recreation, and we were able to play with some guys that really were talented. And we then began to see where we ranked amongst the other competition.
Right.
Like I said, man, that's a great tool down there as far as what they bring to the table because you go down there, you do football, baseball, basketball, and you're doing it at a constructive level to learn. So that was a big part of that upbringing, man. And once we got down there playing recreation ball, that's when I finally was able to see that, hey man, I'm a little bit better than a lot of people.
Than the average.
Like, you know, the average guys. You know what I'm saying? That's
yeah.
the first time, because as a family, like I say, growing up without a pops that's really you know, like I said, a sportsman himself, you don't really know that until you're able to compete with others.
Exactly.
Make a long story short, man, you know, getting to middle school and, you know, you start playing football, baseball. I mean, no, football and basketball was our thing. And basketball was a big thing too, man.
Yeah, I hear a lot about you.
Basketball was huge.
I had Jakar on, like I said, I had Jakar on the show not too long ago, and they were talking about him in basketball. And then I started talking about Coco, and it's not only hearing about him in football, you start hearing about the basketball as well.
Yeah, man.
So just look at these well-rounded athletes, man.
Well-rounded, man. And I was able to play on the varsity basketball team as a ninth grader, which really allowed me to boost my confidence as far as when I got to high school, even though I wasn't starting on, you know, on the football team just quite yet. But just that confidence, that Coach Martian had me to come up and play basketball on a varsity level at the ninth grade was very prevalent to my success, because it allowed me to make sure I prepared on a whole nother level. Instead of preparing for like the JV and the junior varsity, I began to plan for varsity football, varsity basketball at a very early age. Was able to start in the 10th grade, man.
And that's what's up, man, because I come from a background kind of like yours, where my pops was a very, very good high school player, but didn't go on to college and play, man. But he, like you say, put me around the right people to be able to instill something in me.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? And get the right proper training.
That's huge.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and just like you, I was a basketball guy.
Yeah.
And then I turned towards football, man.
That's right. And of course, where we come from, we turn towards football because you see that's the best way out.
There you go.
I
tell people all the time, it's the easiest sport to make it in.
It's the easiest sport to make it in because, first of all, it's the most scholarships given.
Yep.
And then second of all, man, you don't have to be 6'8" to do it. All right. You can go to school, you can get a free education. Obviously you did it, I did it.
Yeah.
And you do it without having to be, you know, like I say, a LeBron James.
Yeah. You don't have to be, like I said, it's so hard to get recruited in now in basketball, man.
No doubt.
Because one thing about basketball, it's global. Where football is global as well, but the main base here is right here.
It's right here in the United States.
And we're right here in the Southeast. Where is it? It's prevalent.
Exactly.
There's no area recruited more than the Southeast.
Right.
California got good football. Texas. When you talk about a region of the country, there's no other recruited area other than being here in the Southeast.
And right here, man. And it's crazy because I come from a high school where we were very under recruited. Small school.
Yeah,
you know,
a lot of schools are here. Man. A lot of schools are here in Augusta, man. This the CSRA period is very, very under recruited.
It's just the reputation of the area. And we've done and I say we, the community around here has done a great job in the last 10 to 15 years making sure that some of those changes are prevalent. We got a lot of guys from Augusta, from Carolina that's really doing it big on not only in the college level, but you got some guys that's in the league now too, man.
Man.
I mean, you just talking about Antonio Hamilton, man.
You got Antonio Hamilton, you got Jalen Watson.
Jalen, come on, man. You know, we got names now.
Yeah, we
do.
To where,
you know, back in the day when I did come through high school, it wasn't as open. So I really had to, do insurmountable things on that football field just to go to App State. You know, we won a state championship my senior year in 2005. And honestly, man, I think without pushing myself to go all the way that year and actually win it, I don't even know if I would have got an offer from an App State because we were just that under-recruited.
You had to win to get that exposure. Same thing at Richmond, man. We had to start. We had a lot of good guys coming through Richmond when I was younger, but they didn't get recruited.
Exactly.
And as we started to win, those younger guys starting to build a culture, started to be in that winning culture, and we started to win and starting to go visit the Thomas County Centrals, start going to visit the Statesboroughs, and knock these guys off. Then at that point, the college recruiters started coming, man. So you come up in the Johnston, man, Trenton, Edgefield area, man. And your uncle is our Hillary, man. He's a legend.
Yeah, legend, man.
He's a Strom Thurmond legend, man. Played wide receiver with USC, man. Played in the Super Bowl with the Cincinnati Bengals, man.
First legend I knew, man.
Yeah. So, and with everything he was able to accomplish, brother, and you coming behind him at Strom Thurmond, man, just to carry the Hillary name on. What was that like for you?
It was for me. I've always been overly optimistic about my ability and about what I could get accomplished. When I got to high school, when we talking about those teams, Strom Thurmond, because it was good ball players, good teams after my uncle, and you know,
y'all definitely had some teams.
We had some good teams. We had some good players, man. We had good programs, good coaches.
Yeah.
And for me, I never understood why we didn't win a state championship. Like it puzzled me. Like, I mean, I'm being honest with you, as a 9th or 10th grader, it puzzled me because I'm like, man, this right up in this small little pocket of the world, you got so much talent, so much ability. You know what I'm saying? And yet and still, we hadn't had nobody to really take us over the top and win the state championship. So I was optimistic about that from the start. My goal coming into high school, knowing what I was expected of and what I was going, the opportunity that I was going to get, I knew that by the time I left my senior year, I wanted to win a state championship.
Right. And you done just that, man.
Yeah,
shout out to that.
There's no doubt about it. But back to without his, and I can say presence actually being there, but without his aura hanging around Edgefield, Johnson, Strom Thurmond, you know, that kept me motivated to make sure that to allow me to work towards something greater than myself, which was at the time my uncle.
Yeah, and you see it present today, man. Because when you talk about Strom Thurmond and you mention that name, the Hillary name comes up.
No doubt.
But it's not only just our Hillary now. You hear that name Coco just as big as you hear Ira. Now Ira did go on to the NFL and do such things.
No doubt.
But what you was able to accomplish right there in that area, man, and do for that community, it rivals none, man. And for me, you know, coming in that situation, man, I would always follow my pops. You know, pops Bruce Damson, man. Shout out to him, man, for instilling in me. He was, you know, at North Augusta, man, an all-state safety, man, and I just patted my game behind him, man, and everything he instilled in me, telling me as a young guy. And also I had a cousin, man, played at Auburn, man, Carlos Dansby. Played at Auburn with Cadillac Williams, Jason Campbell, man, and it was a first-round draft pick. By the Arizona Cardinals back in 2005. So when I was able to see my dad not only tell me what I needed to do, and then seeing that name on the back of a jersey on Sunday,
it's special.
I had it. I had all the motivation that I could say, hey, there go the name right there. I see it.
I can do this.
And I can do this and I can accomplish this, man.
I can do this, man.
So you talked about the state championship, man, in 2005, man. You guys was able to win the 3A state championship in 05, bro. And I tell people all the time, a lot of people underestimate how hard it is to actually win a state championship.
Super, man.
And along the way, you guys, you know, you knock off a good Laney team, you knock off a good Batesburg, Leesville, you knock off Silver Bluff in that, and you guys go 14-1. So how was that for you, man? How was that ride?
That ride was, man, that you know, you take yourself back to that time of your life, man, even before college, even before, you know, just being a pup, man, really. Yeah. And it's one of the best times in your life because it was just so precious, you know what I mean? So organic, you know, the way you worked. We back in the day, man, we didn't have these trainers. You
didn't have special trainers.
Yeah, mom and dad you know, couldn't afford nobody. But that whole culture was not even invented yet. I take it back to 05. It not only just that season, but I take it back to that summer, man. If you knew, and Jakar will tell you this too, and anybody else that played on Strom Thurmond, if you knew what we were doing on Sundays, not Mondays, not through Thursday, on Sundays, we would meet up at the Bettis Academy. And
Bettis Academy,
at the Bettis Academy, and this back when the Bettis Academy wasn't nothing but a dirt football field.
Right.
Me, my little brother Aramis, who came right behind me, he played receiver for me at the time.
Yeah, Aramis, my era.
Your era. Yeah. My boy Justin Broadwater, who was a receiver for me, Kenny Griffin, maybe about 4 or 5 more guys. We started, you know, this going up on Sunday thing. Just working out, doing a little bit more running, just trying to sharpen up. Right. Whatever we thought and whatever we seen on TV, we would try to emulate it and do.
I got you.
By mid-season, man, this is no lie. By mid-season, you ride up there, you see 25 cars. And this shows the leadership and the dedication.
The dedication. You definitely
outside of coaching. Yeah. Because not only was we influencing Monday through Friday, we had half the team on Sunday.
That's it.
Up at the Bettis Academy, getting ready for Monday, dog.
That's it. And like you said,
that's precious, man.
That's precious. And like you said, it takes more than just the coaches.
Exactly.
It takes a form of leadership within the guys on the team, in the locker room, in the huddle together to be able to get that accomplished. Because I tell people all the time, the coach is going to coach you Monday through Thursday. But on Friday night, when he call the plays, it's up to you to make a play, man.
It's up to you, man.
So shout out to Strom Thurmond and that culture. Yeah. And being able to cultivate that and then come together and get a winning season, man. Like I said, finish 14-1, man.
Yeah, man. It was the best time of my life, man.
You guys beat Clinton 21-3 in the state championship. And it's like, you look at that playoff run, you guys go, you know, 5 games, you win.
Oh, man, smoke.
You win those 5 games, but then all those games are mostly blowouts. You control the whole game.
Blowouts.
You know what I'm saying? So it takes you back to say, look, it can be done this way. Yeah. The hard work way. You know, the easy way out. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's not that way anymore.
That's the thing, man. And that's the thing. You know, we talking about. We started the show out talking about App State and stuff like that. But dog, people don't understand. Preparation is undefeated.
There you go.
The proper preparation is undefeated.
Yeah, that's it.
If you prepare the right way, I mean, literally, I'm talking true to yourself, true to your teammates.
Yeah.
True to the people around you, and not being well, yeah, we ready or we prepared, but you kind of lying a little bit. I'm talking true preparation. True to the process is undefeated, man. And honestly, when it comes to that state championship, that's all it was, man. We were more prepared than everybody else in the state, man.
Y'all was basically, man, enjoying the process over the prize. You knew that eventually this could cultivate into a state championship, but it was the process that you guys enjoyed, man.
We enjoyed the process.
Time. When preparation meets opportunity, there's always going to be great things that happen, man. So in your senior year, man, you finished with over 3,100 total yards.
Yeah.
2,300 yards passing, 800 yards rushing, man. You account for 37 touchdowns, man. Such a stellar career. As a youngster, I'm watching you, man, marveling at, man, wanting to be like you, man. So
appreciate that, boy.
So with all that, man, comes accolade. It comes a process where you receive the accolades, and this naturally with your stellar career, that you were going to get a college offer to be able to go play collegiate football.
Yeah.
So what was the recruiting process like for you?
The recruiting process, man, was for me because I played quarterback and undersized quarterback at that.
Yeah.
But and that's back in the day where the undersized quarterback wasn't as popular as it is now.
Exactly.
I mean, I probably say I was coming out of high school right now, I probably would have went somewhere to play option quarterback. I mean, I would have been Kyler Murray. I mean, just to be honest with you, or maybe even more highly recruited. But at the time, that wasn't the culture. The culture was big drop back quarterbacks, 6'4", 6'2", 6'3". Those were the type of guys that college would look. So a lot of my recruiting I felt was unfair because I was putting up all these stats. I was doing everything for my team.
Right.
I was representing my community, my coach in the right way. Never got in trouble. So I was the right fit for anybody that wanted me. But people just wasn't sure about changing the position because I was such a leader at quarterback. That's all I did. You know what I mean?
Right. And people sometimes put those labels on you.
Yeah, I got labeled.
And it kind of trickles down from the NFL where the NFL said, I have a prototypical type.
Right. Yeah.
And then the college says, well, we have a prototypical type and we know what we want.
Exactly.
And see, now you see that, like you said, now you don't even see it as much. You see a lot of programs breaking away from that.
Yeah.
The underside, the skilled athletic guys, they can be our leaders and they can win on a high level.
High level, man. High level. And that just wasn't the ordeal when back in the day when I was coming through. So my process, I felt a little like it was a little unfair. I felt like I should, but at the same time, I had to recognize too, once again, where we were coming from. The reputation of the CSR wasn't as good.
Yeah, it wasn't.
But at the same time, man, the accolades is what pushed me over to the top. But kind of not to the top of the totem pole because I was able to use my accolades and everything else as representation of the great player that I could be. So when it come to App State, they look for they look for good guys. They look for not only like talented ball players, but they look for winners.
Yeah, and they're looking for guys that are going to buy into the program. Because it's such a rich tradition, such a rich culture. So you're looking for guys that's going to buy in. You're looking for guys to buy in.
Man.
And speaking of App State, man, you get there, man, you redshirt in 06, man. And during that time period, they're coming off their first, national championship in 2005, man. So what was that? What was those adjustments like for you, man? From coming from playing high school and being such a star to now becoming in, being a red shirt, man. And what was some of those adjustments on the field that you had to make?
Man, those adjustments were very strong. I could say that, man, because you don't know how the process goes when you actually get on college campus, man. I started at App State, I started out at App State in the quarterback room.
Okay,
it was me, Armani, and Trey Elder. We were the three guys, and between me and Armani, they were looking for the next guy, Richie Williams, who won the first national championship.
Right.
Richie Williams, number 7, back in 04. I mean, back in 05. He won. He right there from Camden, South Carolina.
Right.
Good buddy of mine too. So it was between me and Armani as far as who was going to be the kind of predecessor to Richie Williams because App State, we were the first one to start to run the spread. So we needed athletic quarterback. We needed the guy like Armani. We needed a guy like myself. We needed a guy like Richie.
Right.
In order for our offense to work, which we wanted the first guys to cultivate that kind of spread, up-tempo offense.
And you seen it, man. You seen it a lot. Because like you said, you was App State was one of the first ones
to do it.
To be able to do that.
So me being in that meeting room with Coach Satterfield, if you know Coach Satterfield now, man, it's crazy, man. He been so many places now. I think he at Louisville now. But
he was at Louisville. Coach Lamar Jackson. You see the type of dynamic offense
Coach Lamar Jackson, exactly. But so you know what kind of guy I was sitting with in the meeting room then. So I'm sitting there with Satterfield in the meeting room trying to break down the offense, trying to break down this college film.
Yeah.
Physically, yeah, it is. It's an adjustment, but people don't understand the mental adjustment on the college level.
Definitely.
The preparation to take in the film room to be ready,
especially on the offensive side of the football.
The offensive side of the
people
football.
talk all the time, you know. Me being recruited, I was recruited as an athlete, but I knew I wanted to play defense.
Yeah.
And that mental process of playing on the defensive side of the ball is way easier than playing on the offensive side of the ball, because now on offense, you know, you've been in a system for 3-4 years playing in high school, and now you learn a different terminology. Different route combination.
Every coach got different terminology. Every coach got different terminology.
So now you got to get used to the way they talk, the way they do it, you know what
man, exactly. Right. And that's exactly right.
And shout out to you, man, just on the maturation process, man, because I tell people all the time, man, to climb the ladder in sports, there's always a maturation process where you got to get bigger, you got to get stronger, you got to get faster to be able to compete on the level that you're on. And we know that App State, one thing they're going to do, they're going to always compete at a high level, man.
Always
compete at a high level, so, man.
And that's one thing, and that's crazy, because that's one thing that I had to really do as far as the physical part of the game is concerned, because when I switched to receiver, when you're talking about conditioning as a receiver,
because you're running all the time, it's nonstop.
Compared to a quarterback or a running back, and like I said, no disrespect to them guys, but as a receiver, you have to be in the best shape of your life.
And then you got to beef up a little bit, because you know App State gonna run the football. They're gonna
block.
They're gonna run the football, and you gonna block. If you're gonna catch the ball, if you're gonna be out here catching the ball, you're gonna block. So you got to beef up as a receiver. So
yes, sir.
You know, App State, like I said, man, such a rich tradition, man. So September 1st, 2007, always be a remembered day by college football fans, man. Appalachian State, the Mountaineers, they travel to Ann Arbor, Michigan, man.
Yep.
And at this point, man, Michigan, they coming back with guys like your Chad Henney, your Mario Manninghams, your Mike Harts, your Jake Loans. All those guys are returning for a senior season. They're ranked number 5 in the nation, man. So what was it like just going and playing in the big house, just being there in the moment?
Man,
what was that like?
Dog, I'm gonna tell you, when I tell you it was barbaric. It's what I like to explain it, man. You know, you go in. And Coach Jerry Moore had a great way of rallying the troops, or what they call it, man.
Gotcha.
You know, just making sure that, you know, we were just not only nobody felt like an individual. We had this big thing back then about being a link in the chain. That was our motto. You know, every year Coach Moore always had like his motto or something. But that year was about being a link in the chain, and if one link was broken, then that chain or that strong bond, you know, could be compromised. Somebody could come right in and expose us.
Exactly.
So we were huge on religion. We were huge on faith of a mustard seed. We were huge on the link in the chain. Those 3 things were our premise that summer all the way up until that game. So by the time we got there, man, we felt like a team of one.
Yeah, y'all felt like y'all had an opportunity.
We felt like a team of one. We felt like we had a great opportunity, man. I remember when we got down to Ann Arbor. And usually we get down there the day before, like on that Friday. And the first place we stopped, we didn't stop at a restaurant. We didn't go to the hotels. We didn't do nothing. We went straight to Ann Arbor. Straight to the big house. Yeah. They allowed us to walk down on the field and do our walkthrough, you know.
Gotcha.
But we didn't stop nowhere. We went straight there.
Yeah, keep it in business.
Keep it in business. Straight business like. And make a long story short, before we, you know, after we finished the little walkthrough, a little playing around, a little warm up, just to get used to the stadium. Got in the circle, Coach Moore said, man, I want everybody to take a look around. They take a 3-step, everybody take a look around. Right now. And then we look, you know, got back to him, so I had attention back on me. He said, look, this is the last time I want to see anybody look up in the stands. We handling business on the field and on the field only. So what happened up there, let it be shown at the end of the game that we came prepared to win.
That's it, man. And that's the
mentality we took, brother. And it worked.
And it definitely showed the results, man. And we talked, and like I said, we talked about the guys like your Mike Harts and your Chad Henneys, but y'all had, and Jake Long, but you had so many talented guys like yourself. You had the Imani Edwards, and you had the Dexter Jackson, who was
Corey Lynch,
Kenny Richardson, who was dynamic. You know what I'm saying? And,
crazy.
And one thing about that game, what a lot of people don't understand is that during that time period when you were playing, a lot of the Power 5 colleges were now getting their own networks. So y'all believe, and it was unannounced to me that I didn't even know. After doing my research, that was the first game on the Big Ten network.
Yep.
The first game ever aired. Now the Big Ten came out. They broke ground in 2006.
Yeah.
And it was doing like the basketball season. But you guys were the first game ever on the Big Ten network, man. And that was big. And to go in and win that game, man.
It's crazy because I didn't even know, and I'm sure none of us knew really on the team, like where they even aired it at.
Yeah,
you know,
because
what I'm
it was so new, and Comcast,
DirecTV
at the time, they wasn't using it.
It
wasn't the Big Ten
using
Network wasn't available on those on those platforms.
We didn't know nothing about broadcast. We didn't know if where our family could watch it. All we knew was they had a little link on the App State website where you can listen to it, maybe watch it.
Yeah, kind of the standard. Kind of the standard, man. So
standard,
and just back to the game itself, man. You guys are being led by Imani Edwards, man. Dexter Jackson, man.
No doubt.
You guys play a stellar game.
Yeah,
all the way through, man. The fourth quarter kicks here.
Yeah.
Mike Hart, he re-enters the game. He kind of brings them back, man.
Yeah.
They come downfield, man, marching, able to get a touchdown. But they failed to get the 2-point conversion.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
So
and that was huge.
Right.
Too,
that was very huge.
Morale. Yeah. We needed that. We needed
that
stop. Okay. They scored, but hey, we still got them.
Yeah. So they come down, score. You guys stop the 2-point conversion, man.
Mm-hmm.
So you got the ball and you guys are driving. You guys are driving down the field, man.
Yes, sir.
Coco Hillary, redshirt freshman, makes a 24-yard catch to be able to set you guys up in field goal range. You guys go out, nail the field goal, man. At this point, what's going through you guys' head?
Man, that this is more. This is really not only a possibility, but this is almost a reality right now.
Right.
It's a difference between going anywhere and it's a possibility. It's a maybe. But once you solidify that this is going to become reality, man, emotions take over you that you didn't even know you had.
Exactly.
Because you start thinking back on you start thinking back on the preparation,
the process.
You start thinking back on the you start thinking back on the 32 110s that you do. You do every couple of weeks.
And now now that buy-in process is even greater because now you're seeing it right there unfold right there in your eyes on the biggest stage ever.
On the biggest stage in college football, man. So it really allowed you to really understand how much the moment meant.
Yeah.
Like actually living, working, being in the moment. Like we don't do that enough now as human beings. We always thinking about what's next.
And we don't live in the moment or in the right now because eventually that's all you got because you can plan for the future all you want to. But whenever your time is here to leave here, you're going to leave here. Whatever you got undone or done.
That's what I'm saying.
So you got to. It's good. You know what I'm saying. I love that. You got to be in the moment, brother. You got to be in the moment, man. So that game was so great for App State on so many levels. From not only a financial standpoint, of course, because these big schools pay you to come up there and to lose. But you guys go out there, you got paid. You know what I'm saying, to kick their ass, and y'all did. You went out there and you done just that, man. And so now. Looking back on that game, 15 years later, of course you go on to have a stellar career at App State after that game, and you finished as the all-time kickoff return leader in App State's history.
Crazy,
man. So this is looking back on that Michigan moment, your career, what it meant, what you was able to accomplish there.
Yeah.
What does it mean to you now?
It means everything, man. I couldn't tell you as a younger adolescent, meaning my early 20s that I'd even know how much that game in those times would actually propel me to what I'm doing in my life right now.
Right.
And not only actually the physical of what I'm doing, but how to motivate myself to continue to do great things. And once you accomplish something on that level, one thing you will not do is allow yourself to downgrade.
There you go. Exactly.
That you feel each and every year. You feel each and every.
It's a level of expectation.
It's a level of expectation for yourself to do either great or do greater.
That's it.
And that's all we know, man. I can go down a Rolodex of the guys that was on that team right now, and if I were to tell you some of the great things that these guys are doing right now, right now, it'll knock you off your blocks because. Those guys right now, and it's prevalent that they're living their life with a different level of expectation.
Right, and it all this boils down for what they done at App State. That buy-in process.
That right there is what sold all of us for the simple fact that great things can be accomplished. And we know that because we actually did it.
Right. And that's why I tell people all the time, man. Football is the greatest sport to me because it's such a character builder. Because you got so many levels of adversity, and it's the greatest team sport as well because everyone needs each other.
Yeah.
The quarterback can't be who he is without the offensive line. The running back can't be who he is without the offensive line. Wide receivers can't be who they are without the quarterbacks, man. So it's like you said, it's a character building sport, man. So ultimately, man. you leave App State.
Yeah.
Eventually. That's all we do. We can never play the game forever.
Yeah, I had a knee surgery in 09.
Yeah. You come back, you start doing some things for us in the coaching realm, in the training realm, man. Yep. And then, you have a high level of success in that.
Yeah.
And then you get into theater.
No doubt.
What was that? How did you get into that, man? Because you don't see a lot of guys that have our background go that route. Now, we may go into broadcasting, coaching as you did. Yeah. That's the norm. But for guys to take what you done and to go into theater, that's a far left.
Yeah.
That's a far right or left.
Yeah, it is.
So how did that start for you? Where did that begin?
I mean, once again, all God, and it's Him putting you around the proper people,
the right group of people,
group of people, and it's up to you, just like anything else we talk about. It's up to you to cultivate that success.
Yeah.
Meaning, you put your best foot forward. You're a good person. You're gonna work hard. You're gonna be on time. You're gonna make sure that nobody has to call or look and check for all those things that check the box of you being a professional.
Gotcha.
And the thing about football, like you said, it's the ultimate life too, because it teaches you how to be a professional in many different areas of life.
Yeah.
If opportunity come up right now and it has nothing to do with sports, you're gonna attack it same way you did.
The same way you attacked on Saturdays, on Sundays.
On Sundays. So that result eventually is going to rear its own head.
That's it.
So back to the theater thing. It was an opportunity that I had, man. I don't know if you know Pastor Reggie Hunt.
I've heard of him. Yeah.
So Pastor Reggie Hunt, man, he was our team chaplain for a while, and it's just a couple years after I finished playing ball. Where he told me that it was a TV show up in Wilmington, North Carolina. They was looking for some guys. They were looking for some ex-ball players to come up and just run a few things for them and do some sports choreography. So I went up, man. I hadn't much going on at the time. And when I tell you, man, I got there, I got on set, the cameras and stuff like that, and really understood like how production works. Man, I fell in love with it. Like I literally just fell in love with it because the process found the second niche because the process reminded me so much of playing sports.
Gotcha.
You had to practice, you had to prepare, you had to study. You know what I'm saying? Just all the stuff that
everything entitled to being a great football player is entitled to be now a great actor.
Exactly. Exactly. And the work honestly, the work never stops. So it reminded me so much of my playing days, state championships, the national championships and stuff, because it gave me a goal. It gave me something to accomplish. It gave me something to work towards. You know what I'm saying? Other than just sports. So I fell in love with it, man. To make a long story short, the people that I was working with, I built a relationship with them, man. Just like we talk about building good quality relationships.
It's all about networking.
It's all about networking.
I tell people all the time in life, man, it's not pretty much what you know, it's who you know.
Who is who you know.
And how you present yourself to people.
How you present yourself. You gotta stay ready so you don't have to get ready.
That's it.
Exactly. And those people over the years, man, continuously presenting me with opportunities and bigger. Every time I do something, they give me something big. All right, you did that. I want you to audition for this now. All right, you did that. You killed it. I want you to audition for this now.
Exactly.
All right, you did that. Bam, here comes safety.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, and that's the next.
Wow.
And that's the next thing we about to get into. But before we get into that, man, shout out to you to be able to, I would say, pivot. Because a lot of guys, a lot of us athletes, we cannot pivot in life. Because once we've done this forever, and this is all we know, it's hard for a lot of guys to be able to say, what's next?
It's tough, man.
What I want to get into next. Because some guys come out of sports, and some of us finish playing at the collegiate level. Some of us go on to play in the NFL.
Yeah.
And injuries negate our the longevity on the career. And so now we don't really know what's next. But shout out to you, man, for being able to find out what's next,
Appreciate
man. So
that, boy.
You just mentioned it, man. Disney 2020 comes out with the movie Safety, man.
Yeah.
You get a role in that, bro.
Crazy.
How was that, man? How did that come about?
Unreal, man. I mean, I tell you what. Like I said, my people from Game Changing Films, the ones I was just telling you about, they put me up. They put me up for that role, man. And honestly, man, I blindly went into it with kind of low expectations, man. I did what I had to do to put the audition in and stuff like that. But my expectation, as far as beating out another 2,000 or 3,000 people, I mean, the expectations weren't that high because I just didn't know a lot about the business at the time.
You're just going to put your best foot forward.
Put my best foot forward.
And the chips going to fall with it.
Exactly, man. Make a long story short, big time director Reggie Hutland, man. You go up and look up his work, man. He's crazy, man. He got so much work. Guy actually directed House Party.
Okay.
Back in the day, man.
Definitely.
Okay. So this a big time these some big time guys, man. So I go up to Atlanta, man, for an in-person audition. I sent my tape in. They liked the tape. which was crazy because I was like, wow, they really did like the audition tape. I was like, cool. So I go up in person and panel. I mean, literally a panel producer. You got a guy named Mark Chardy. You got Reggie Hudlin, and you got the lady that produced the Breakfast Club back in the day. Man,
okay,
star-studded, man.
Yeah, yes.
So I gotta run the lines with him, man, and I just like we talk about sports, dog. When I tell you, it's almost like catching the kick return. I caught it and I just dived in.
Just ran with it.
Just ran with it,
man.
Just go. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna do my best. I'm gonna show my ass right now to make
I'm
gonna do what's necessary.
Yeah, and pour your heart into it.
I'm put my heart into it, man.
That's what's
put my heart into it, man. I gave them the performance that they needed, that they wanted, that they was looking for. Man, the next day I got to the house, I got an email, man. They said, man, we want you, and it was a special feeling because, once again, man,
it takes you back to that.
It takes you
back to that recruiting process. When you first get those first offers, and now that somebody wanting me for my work and everything, for the hard work that I put in, now somebody wants that.
Now somebody want it,
and wants to invest in that.
Exactly.
And that means a lot,
man.
That means a lot. So like I said, man, shout out to you for being able to just pivot in life and just say, you know what, football was great. And now it's something else, man.
Yeah, exactly. We still gotta live life, man.
That's it. Hey, man, I tell people all the time, man. You gotta live the game. You gotta live after the game.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm 30 years old now. Mm-hmm. Hey, by the grace of God, I feel like I still got a whole lot of life left. So what? So now I got a family now.
Come on,
future
man.
wife. I gotta get.
You gotta figure it out.
You gotta figure it out. You gotta get going, man. Because life ain't gonna stop. One thing I tell people all the time, man. The only thing you can't get back in life is time.
No, you don't get it back.
At this point in my life. 30 years old, bro. Only thing I'm competing against is time.
That's it.
I'm in competition with nothing else.
You ain't gonna get
it's just time. And knowing that I can't get time back, that's why I go so hard in these podcasts.
Yeah, man.
So before we get out of here, man, I always end my podcast like this because we don't got guys that don't know how to transition from the game. Yeah. And we see a lot of mental illness come from that, man.
Yeah.
And it's always somebody looking up to Coco Hillary, the next child, or even the next grown person that want to transition in life. So what would be your advice to not only the grown person, but to the child on how to just get to where you are now?
Man, I got my sons, man. He's 12 years old, man. Lives in Wilmington, North Carolina.
Gotcha.
Stepdad's military, so they stationed up there, man, for the last 3 years. But I mean, he spends a lot of time down here with me and my family, just because Hillary's just a big family.
It is definitely, man. When you think about 25, you can't Hillary,
So he always down with us and spend the summers with us and all the time and stuff like that all the time. So he really gives me my current motivation to continuously do great stuff.
Okay.
Because I truly believe that organically, whether he's doing great right now or not organically, it's gonna happen to where he has no other choice but to follow suit.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna put him in a position or in a corner to where, like, bro, you either gonna do something great, and I ain't talking about just sports.
Yeah,
I'm just talking
in any aspect. Because
I
tell people a lot of times, sometimes a lot of our kids, once we're athletes, they don't play sport.
Exactly.
But I tell people, with me just having a daughter, hey, whatever avenue in life you have, be great in that.
Great at that.
Whatever avenue.
Go hard. So my objective now as a 34-year-old man is really setting the bar high for him to follow. If he don't get that bar, then cool. But he'll be somewhere to where it will benefit him as an adult to do something great, or to raise his own family, or to understand his own niche, or if you want to be a doctor or a lawyer, to not only do that, but go do it at the highest level. And that's the advice that ultimately that I have for anybody that comes up to me now about, man, what should I do now, or what should I do next, or where should I go with this? I ain't gonna lie, I'm not picky with what people do.
Yeah.
Just do it to the best of your ability. The results will show later, man. I don't care if you're a cafeteria manager.
Be the best.
Be the best. I don't care if you're a school bus driver. Be the best.
Be the best.
You know what I'm saying? I don't care. I don't care if you're the head cook or a sous chef down the road on Broad Street. Be the best sous chef you can be, because guess what? Somebody's gonna recognize that. Yeah, eventually, that's going to get recognized, and you're not gonna stay in the same position forever.
That's it.
So you have to put your best foot forward, no matter what you do.
Taking advantage of what's in front of you right now.
Like you said, it doesn't last forever, man.
It don't, baby.
It
doesn't last forever.
It don't, man. Yeah.
So, man, like I said, man, we appreciate you definitely coming through the podcast, man.
Man, my pleasure.
Before we get out of here, man, I know you got a lot of things going on, man, in the film world, man. So anything that we need to be looking for from you, man. Anything, man. So any shout outs you want to give, man, any upcoming shows, man, what you got on your plate right now?
Man, appreciate that. But man, I want to shout out Miss Monique, man. Everybody know Miss Monique around here from the radio.
Oh yeah, definitely. Miss Monique, definitely.
Raising AJ Productions is her production company. We getting ready to do. She just casted me as the main guy.
Okay.
In her stage play, Build a Man. It's at the Imperial Theater, November the 5th at 6:30. Please come out and check it out, man. It's gonna be, I mean, a lot of fun, a lot of laughter, a lot of emotion. She did a great job with the piece, man. I'm excited that she asked me to be a part. It was a pretty rigorous audition process, man. And she believed in me to do what I need to, to be that guy.
Exactly.
So I'm gonna do what I need to do to put my best foot forward on stage to make sure I definitely represent her in the right manner. But man, please, if you're free November 5th at 6:30, come right down to the Imperial Theater, man. You can see one of your own right here in Augusta. Everybody always asks me what I'm doing when I'm out of town, or on set, or actually film. I'm usually gone somewhere, but now you can come right down to Augusta Imperial Theater November 5th and see it for yourself, man. See the work. I got a lot of people in the area right now, man. How can I get into acting, or how can I do this and that?
Right.
Man, come down. Really get a close look at the work that's put into something like that, and then and then you'll see whether or not it's something that I still want to do or not, man. But I look forward to it. Definitely, man. Let me know. If you gonna be there or something, man. You need something. Let me know, man.
Definitely
November 5th, 6:30 at the Imperial Theater, man. Build a Man. That's the name of the play, man. You see your boy Coco Hillary in it, and all the rest of the cast. Great cast right here from Augusta, no doubt about it.
Hey, man, that's dope.
Great
man. That's
cast.
what's up, man. November 5th, man. Y'all heard it from him himself, the man himself, Coco Hillary, man. November 5th, 6:30, the Imperial Theater.
Yeah, theater.
6:30, man. We're gonna be there to support you, bro.
Thanks, man. Appreciate that, big dog.
Man.
Hey.
Appreciate you coming through,
Hey, man,
brother.
thanks, boy. Fellow Mountaineer, boy. You know what time it is.
You
Come on,
know,
baby.
man.
We're going to keep
was
that in
there
the family.
I was there for a little bit, man, but
It's
you
cool.
definitely instilled something in me, man.
Yes.
Hey,
Yes.
PCP, Press Keepers Podcast, man. Hey, we here, man. We getting the episode. This is episode 5, man. Make sure you remember to go subscribe. Like the videos, views, subscribe. I genuinely appreciate all the support that you guys are giving me around the area, man. All the feedback, man, whether negative or positive. Hey, I need it, man, because like I said, man, hey, this is something I love doing, man. So once again, man, PCP, Press Keepers Podcast, we're out of here, man. Thank you.
Yeah.